Hello, photographers. Welcome to Photo Feedback Forum, the channel that randomly assigns point values to photos based on an arbitrary selection of criteria. At least that's what it seems like when you enter photo contests. But I'm here to tell you, as someone who does enter a lot of photo contests, and as a photographer, and a photo judge, that the photo contest process is valuable for two reasons. One, at the end of the salon, you may have learned something. Maybe you learned a processing technique or a different way to shoot. Either way, the next time you go out, you may be able to make stronger photos based on that judge input. On the other hand, you may learn that you like the photos that you make, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. That's equally important. So both bits of information are potentially useful. Enter photo contests and you'll decide what you're going to get out of them. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to look at 5 images. A couple of them are viewer submitted. So thanks, viewer, for submitting the photos. And we're going to see what we can learn from having a fresh set of eyes looking at these images. If you'd like to have me take a look at some of your images, use the link in the description to send me those files. All right, on with the show. In 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go, starting out with a street shot. And it's it is a fantastic subject. Let's let's dissect it. I I I'm not even sure what this. What do you call a group of mimes? Is it a gaggle? Is it a murder of mimes? Regardless, this pack of mimes is a gold mine of content here. I just wish the photo was better. Compositionally, it's we got just when you're shooting street, show some patience, just wait or move or do something to um, focus on the subject at hand. While I like part of me likes the fact that there's a whole bunch of mimes together, which is fantastic. Really, the shot is right here. This guy on the phone, this guy's looking at him. So, zooming in on that would have been good. I mean, there's clearly any number of other shots that could have been had with this group, but it's ruined with this person here, and the fact that the uh, maker didn't move over a little bit to avoid that. Lighting, you know, for harsh midday lighting, you can tell from the harsh shadows there. Lighting actually isn't. Maybe 14 is a little low. You can see the faces; everything is good. Um, it's not the most flattering of lights, but it's functional. So 14, maybe it could have gone 15, 16, but I already wrote 14, so that's what it's going to stay at. Technical. Um, this again is more tied to composition than anything. Again, because of this, and yeah, yes, it is sharp. I mean, it's exposed well from that technical standpoint, but I'm still pinging it again for the composition. So 12 for technical. Impact. Yeah, yeah. This is weird. Um, yeah, I think it has a big impact, even with the partially obscured frame. In storytelling, it has got to be an interesting story. I don't know what it is, but it makes me wonder. and that counts for some points. Collectively, this gets a 72. All right, so from looking at people wearing black and white to a black and white image. Entropy. So says the tag. Compositionally, it's I like the fact that we're shooting through something here. It gives us some depth. So we have at this foreground, we have the subject and a nice leading line there, although it is kind of leading out of the frame. So 16, I think and that's also a little bit slanted there. So little work could be done on composition of straightening things out. Clearly, the maker wanted the tag there, so we'll keep that in play. Maybe we didn't need this area up here. Could have tightened things up a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's a combination of the tag and this as being the subject, or if this is the main subject and this is the just an add-on. Yeah, I'm not quite getting the connection between entropy and this. Entropy meaning disorder. And I can't really tell what I'm looking at here. So compositionally, I think it could be tighter. That might help. Lighting. I mean, it is very, very bright over here. Again, I'm assuming this is the main subject here, but my eye goes over here. And this is kind of an optical illusion. At one point, I thought this was a cliff face over here, but now I think it's just the floor, and this is a wall here. So lighting, again, could be more balanced. Technical, I like the treatment that was done to the photo. I like the fact that it is black and white and it is grainy. I think it complements the subject matter very well. So I'll give it a 17 for that. Impact, it does have some impact. I mean, this is big and bold and in your face, and this is interesting. I just don't know exactly what it is. So from an impact, it gets my attention. So it gets a 17, but the story I'm a bit lost on. There's definitely some story here, so I'm going to give it a 16. What could help the story? Again, if this was maybe darkened up, and this was maybe again, if this is, I'm assuming that this is the subject. I might be way off, but that's how I'm reading the photo. Again, I like the fact that we're shooting through this. I like the grit, I like the effect, but the story is a bit lost on me. So I'm going to give it an 81. Okay. This is another treatment-based image. Looks like we're on a path, and the fact that we're just standing right in the middle of this path, we got the roof line here, is kind of confining to me. So I think shooting down low would give this more presence. As it is now, it is. I just walked up and I took this picture. So compositionally, move over here, shoot down low, something to make it a little more out of the ordinary. Lighting, it's I like the colors over here. The lighting up here is, so this is a nice leading line, but this is, I think, too bright. The whole idea of this path is leading us down here, and with this brightness up here, that doesn't really allow for that to happen. And then we have it really bright over here and dark over here. So that's also uneven, which does not help the visual path that the viewer has to take. So 15 for lighting. Technical. I do like the effect is interesting. I like that. I don't think it's not ICM, intentional camera movement. I think it's done in post. And yeah, I think it does okay from a technical standpoint. Again, just going back, this should have been darker. This should have been lighter. This should have been more balanced. It does have some impact. I mean, it is interesting when it first pops up on the screen. Trying to get your bearings. What am I looking at? So I'm going to give it a 17 for that. But storytelling, it. I think it's an incomplete story. Having somebody or something there down the path, I think would help significantly. So I'm going to give it 15 for the storytelling, and this one gets a 63 overall. Okay, if you live in the Minnesota, Wisconsin, Midwest area, you know Sweet Martha's Cookies, you know the state fair. There's a lot of people at the state fair. This captures just a hint of that. Compositionally, yeah, 17. I do like that we're low shooting high. I think that is interesting. Um, I think this is unnecessary over here. So that yeah, that's just fluff. You know, obviously the story is right here. The idea of this kind of reminds me of a very tame version of the Alexei Titarenko uh, uh, photographs. There are these amazing Soviet era images of long exposure of just masses of humanity walking by. Uh, this one does not come close to that, although there is a flavor of it. Lighting, you know, we got the ambient light from the building that works well. Looks like we got the blue hour, so that's fine. Technical, again, the tied to the composition. I think maybe shooting more at this angle, looking this way. If there was more well-defined lines, and these are people who are just kind of standing around, doesn't have the effect that I think um, the maker was going for. Impact, you know, again, if these were a whole bunch of people walking by and they were ghostly like that, that would be interesting. Or if they were standing in line or walking towards the cookie booth, that would be good. So I get it lacks in impact, and same thing with the storytelling. So I'm going to give it a 81. Okay, here we have another pathway image. Now this one, again, the maker is standing in the middle of the path, similar to that walkway path earlier, but because of the enormity of these trees, the viewer, us, we are in the middle of this, and I find that very, very interesting. And we'll touch on this on the technical, but the color treatments, the color down here and then the no color there is, I think, works. Lighting, similar to the pathway shot. I like the fact that there is a leading line down here, but then it just turns dark here. So I would actually like this darkened up a bit, and then this lightened up. So again, a little bit dark here, a little bit dark, dark, dark. going towards the light. A little bit dark here, dark here, dark here, light here. I think that would help the image. Technical, I mentioned before the the fact that these are without color, and then we have this this interesting color here that works. I'm going to give it a 16. There is also an effect on this. It looks like it's done in post-processing that I think works for the subject. Impact, again, just like the walkway picture, having somebody down here or something, um, whether it be a dog or an old car or something, to we're going down this path, and for me there's no there's no payoff, and I think there should be, because this has great atmosphere. So 16. And then same thing with storytelling. It's an interesting location, and I like the enormity of this and the scale. But I think we need something down here to reward the viewer. So I'm going to give this one an 83. Okay, we are going to end on an Ansel Adams quote. There are always two people in every picture, the photographer and the viewer. You can read this many different ways. I'll read it in the context of a photo judge. So people send in photos, a judge or a panel of judges looks at that image. Whether the judge gets it or not, that's part of the mystery. And sometimes the judge will see things in the photo that the maker didn't know it was there. And sometimes the judge, again, just totally misses it. And if we expand this quote to just anyone looking at the photo, once a photographer releases the image into the wild, it's up to every viewer to make up their own story. Even if it's a photojournalistic image, I'm thinking of the Churchill photo where he's looking mean. The backstory on that is the photographer took his cigar away, so he was actually more pissed at the photographer. But the end result was an amazing portrait. So what the photographer shoots and what the viewer interprets, that's sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it goes off in a whole new direction. But that's part of the fun. Hope you had fun in this one. Take a look at one of the other episodes, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.